very first edition of the Closet Cast. I'm Danny.
I'm Paden.
All right, and I guess we're off to the races. Here we go. All right, we've already done about a podcast and a half.
We're trying to get our feel right.
I think we're good, man. This is the one.
I think this is the way to go. This is definitely a keeper. I can already tell.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to talk about a few things. I'm sure you do too.
Sure. Yeah. Let's.
Right before we started this recording session, we were discussing some American Horror Story, some It, and some Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, man.
Okay, so we're both in agreement that Stranger Things is amazing.
Yeah, it's like the greatest show on right now. I'm not gonna say of all time because there's been a lot of good shows, but
it's been a lot of good shows.
I think Stranger Things and Rick and Morty is probably my two favorite things right now on the television.
American Horror Story, Rick and Morty, and South Park. I mean, it's a South Park. I can't give it number one anymore because it's only 10 episodes long now. But at the same time, yeah, it's.
Has it come back? I mean, like.
No, it's coming though.
See, I don't even know when the fuck South Park comes on anymore. I mean, I like it, I guess, but I'm with you. It comes on so sporadic, and you only got 10 episodes. Like, I'm like, yeah, that was good for a little bit, but then I forget about it. You know, nothing. It's not what it used to be.
No, it's definitely not what it used to be, but it's still good.
It's at that point now. It's finally reached that point. Remember that point when The Simpsons stopped being good? I kind of feel like South Park's getting to that point, man. It's
definitely starting to head there. I wouldn't say it's there yet.
But the quality has... it was definitely a big change in quality for The Simpsons. It's more gradual, I think, for South Park. I think it's just... I don't know. For me anyways, I may be in the minority, but I just don't really like it that much anymore. Because, like, I know what to expect this year. Hillary and Donald, that's the big thing going, so there's going to be a lot of parodies and references to that. You know, because it's always whatever's topical. That's what the season's about. You know, they tend to parody it all, and it's just too topical for me. I don't really care.
They've gotten to the point in that show now where it's such a cut and paste format for the entire show.
Yeah.
Like, it used to be unique, and they had, like, Barbara Streisand as Mika Streisand, you know, I mean...
Well, yeah, those first, 3 seasons are really off the wall, man.
Those first 12 seasons are off the wall. I mean, Major Boobs, that was an awesome season. Season 12. Love that episode where they're sniffing cat pee. I mean, that was...
They did the whole heavy metal thing and shit. Well, that was great.
They did how they used to do their shows back then. It felt like they stayed topical while being a complete parody. If you didn't know about the topic, you had a whole separate story to follow. Now it's starting to get to the point where, like this last season, I was like, what's up with PC? Why is this such an episode? Why is this an entire theme of a season?
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool at first, but I don't like now that the story, the episodes kind of follow a linear story throughout the season.
I dug it the first season they did it.
Yeah.
I did. I liked it. But I kind of miss those individual snippets.
Yeah, where you didn't have to watch, every episode to get what's going on. You know, I like just being able to tune in and just enjoy an episode of South Park and not need to know that that's a reference that happened 5 episodes ago or something, you know?
Well, see, yeah, it's something I do miss about it. I mean, season 5 and season 6 are probably my 2 favorite seasons. Season 5 for Scott Tournament Must Die. That's my all-time favorite episode. I don't think anything will ever top that. You know, oh, Scott, your tears.
That was really dark, I remember at the time. I mean, it's pretty tame, I think, by today's standards, but at the time I was like, that's a really fucking dark episode of something to be on, primetime television.
It was, but now they're so used to pushing the boundaries, they had to look for something new. That got wore out, too. But South Park, has it reached that point where you feel like in the next couple of seasons it's just going to be done?
I think it should be. I don't know whether or not it will be, but I think
I don't want it to be.
Yeah, but I
love South Park.
But it's been on for how long now? Was it 97 when that show came out? So 20 years.
Yeah, I mean it's
at the 20-year mark. I mean, not a lot of shows have done that, especially animated. I mean, Simpsons has got them beat, but
not by much.
About 10 years.
No,
I think.
No.
Oh, wait, yeah, come on. 89, 88. When did The Simpsons... God damn it.
89 is whenever The Simpsons started up.
So, they got, what?
But I don't think it was... like I think they're only like 4 or 5 seasons apart because the Simpsons
about
had
7. Let's see.
I'm pretty sure the Simpsons had a couple of years where they didn't have a season or they were in production.
No,
second season.
They had one every year. No, I see. You're the South Park guy. I was the Simpsons guy. Not so much anymore. But
I was the South Park guy. I haven't really kept up with my trivia as much.
Let's see. 28 seasons for the Simpsons, and that's starting. Well, this season will be the 28th season. So whenever that comes back in
now, they're
October,
just going season to season at this point, aren't they? I haven't even watched The Simpsons in probably 4 or 5 seasons.
I don't know. You keep hearing or like, oh, maybe they'll end after 30. Let's see. South Park's at 23. So yeah, I guess they're actually closer than I thought. But the way South Park does their seasons, though, I mean, technically they should only be at season 20, not 23.
I don't know because that split doesn't start a new season. Whenever they used to do that split in April, that was a continuing season. They've always counted that to be the same.
Oh wait,
season.
no, never mind. I'm looking ahead. Okay, season 20. They're on, or I guess this is season 20. Yeah, because the last episode was January, so they're on season 21. This will be season 21.
So 6 seasons apart. Now there is, I think, season 9 and 10 actually fully share a year.
Yeah, I was gonna say now. I think technically they should only be on season 20 if they were to go by the year-by-year basis, but I feel like South Park does their seasons weird,
Well, they do their seasons usually starting in October, and then it runs all the way through into April, with the split being around January or February.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I mean,
they go like halfway down, and then they stop for a couple of months, and then they put the rest of the season
Yeah, that whole thing where I guess a lot of them do that now.
Well, they don't do that anymore, though. Now it's just 10 weeks of South Park, and then you're done. I honestly feel like that's part of the reason why I think it's starting to die down is because I love South Park. I used to know every episode by heart, by number, and by title. You can ask Danny here.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you're like the encyclopedia for South Park.
I used to read every possible thing. I used to watch every season. I still watch every single season right before the new season starts, except for this year. This year is the first year I haven't done that.
See, I've always liked it, but I mean, you're definitely a bigger fan than I am.
Well, I feel like 10 episodes isn't enough, and that's why I feel like it's dying down. Is whenever you had that full 27, 22, or however many episodes, I mean, some of those episodes seemed like they went on forever.
Yeah.
Whenever you had that, it was like a constant binge of South Park, and you loved it. Now that it's shortened up, okay, well, 10 weeks, I get to love that 10 weeks of TV, and then go to, well, nothing. I go back to Netflix.
Yeah.
That's essentially what ends up happening.
That's kind of my thing. Nothing leaves a lasting impression. Like, I remember last season, I watched it all, the old PC Principle, and I remember a few things.
I remember the Mr. Garrison Donald Trump comparison.
I mean, the buckle up buckaroos, like, that's about really the only thing I remember.
That was because of the shock value they gave you.
I mean, that was just funny, they kept
buckaroos.
That's just like the one thing I remember, and it was funny. I'm not taking anything away from it, but I can't. Nothing really sticks.
See, and that's why American Horror Story Hotel.
I can't be like, boy, that one episode was so great, because they were all just kind of, they were all pretty funny. And that's about it,
Why did that season have to have so much of a payoff for the last episode? Like, why do they have to build up such a payoff for that episode?
Yeah.
I'd take 10 episodes of randomness over 10 episodes of linear story whenever it came to South Park any day of the week.
Yeah.
Why I did like the episodes. I had fun watching them. I laughed. I mean, it's been a while since South Park's made me just down out laugh, but I can't remember those jokes. I remember Cartman licking the tears off Scott Turner.
Yeah, I remember. I can remember specific episodes all the way through from like the old ones, but I can't.
I remember that woman's father, the king of Major Boobage, saying, "Look at my daughter's rockin' tits," But I don't remember what Mr. Garrison's speech was. I could tell you what it was about, but I couldn't remember any word of it.
Speaking of South Park, I saw that movie Sausage Party the other day in theaters, which was pretty funny.
Oh, don't spoil that for me now.
It was really good.
I mean, if you're into see it, we actually were planning on seeing it, and our theater dropped it very quickly. Like, it wasn't even a McAllister for a week.
It's got some pretty bad reviews by fans and critics alike. I liked it. I mean, if you're into stupid Seth Rogen comedies,
we might just
that's what it is. I mean,
I think we might just have to make a trip up the highway a little ways and go see it in theaters, because I'm sure it's still up there.
Yeah, I mean,
somewhere.
Like I said, it's nothing great. I mean, it's about what you'd expect, but I thought it was funny. But no, the interesting fact though was, I was looking that up and I was like, I don't remember seeing an adult cartoon in theaters since the South Park movie, and there really hasn't been one made as far as, a wide release.
You can't call Ted a cartoon.
No,
an animated bear, but it's supposed to be a live bear.
Well, yeah. So like this was like the first fully animated adult cartoon, I think, since South Park that had a wide release, anyways, as far as in theaters, which is just insane because the South Park movie came out in '99, and here it is, 2016.
Now, is Seth Rogen planning on putting out anything else out like that? Because wasn't he a major, person for getting it even made?
Well, yeah, it was him and I think it was him and was it Evan Goldberg still? Like, I imagine Evan Goldberg probably had something to do with it. They're always doing this shit because I think he had been working on it for a while. I don't know. I'd heard rumors of a sequel, but we'll see, I guess. It's about like anything else, like Pineapple Express 2. I don't see anything as far as a sequel or anything, or any other. I think he's got some other animated stuff as far as adult animated movies. I don't know.
I'd like to see, 'cause I'm sure it probably didn't do great in box offices.
No, I don't think. I've read nothing but bad things from everybody, but I liked it. It didn't stop me from wanting to go see it. I thought, well,
I want to go see it.
It looks stupid because it's obviously makes fun of those Disney Pixar movies, like that's kind of the premise there with the whole computer graphics, that whole Pixar look,
Oh yeah, I'm okay with that,
Yeah, no,
I think that is I am the target audience for that.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
I'm gonna love that movie.
It's a very immature movie. It's also one of those things where it kind of tries to have a lesson, I think, about racism and religion and all that stuff and accepting everybody. I think there's some of that obvious message in there. Like it's pretty heavy.
Okay.
It's pretty heavy-handed.
It throws it a little too far into your face.
I think a little bit. I'm like, oh, haha, that's like they're Jews and they're Nazis. Okay, I got it.
So the people are the Nazis?
No. Like sauerkraut are like Nazis because they're German, but like bagels and whatnot, and other Jewish delicacies are they're like got the Jewish accents.
Oh man,
and all that.
In this day and time to try to make fun of some race with some food items, I'm surprised they even went there.
Yeah, God forbid. You can't offend anybody anymore. And I'm all for everybody having equal everything. I don't really care. It doesn't affect me, I don't give a fuck. But people need to like chill out a little bit.
Oh, they definitely do.
I don't know what to call people anymore. They're like, so many terms are offensive now that used to not be offensive.
It's like, why bug with it?
I don't know. What is a pansexual? Can educate me.
I think it's somebody who doesn't identify as any gender.
I thought okay. See, I thought like they like
I don't even
males and females. I'm like, yeah, I don't even really care to look it up. But to me, it just sounded like someone who's bisexual. I don't know. I didn't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Pansexual, like, I know it has something to do with the way somebody identifies themselves as.
See.
I heard some new one today where people who identify themselves as animals have something they call themselves. And, like, they're not just like furries either. They're like regular everyday people.
We was reading about that fucking all this incest and shit going on. People wanting to marry their moms.
No. She married her son, and then she turned around and she married her daughter. Her son and her got an annulment.
Yeah. We read that one, but there were some other ones we were reading too.
There are even more of those?
Yeah, there's some more incest shit going on, like people wanting equal rights to marry their, sibling, well, not siblings, but their fucking parents.
That's just gross.
I'm like, okay, I think that's where we need to draw the line
the
here.
Question is, do you think that's the result of GMOs? Or maybe it could be the result of fluoride in the water.
I think it's just...
Do you think it's a result of maybe...
Well, like we were reading about some girl, I guess it was a son and mother, like she gave them up for adoption, and they met later, and they fell in love. And that's pretty common, actually. I was having a discussion with my wife, and I'm like, yeah. Because I remember, I took psychology classes and shit, and I remember learning about that a little bit. I'm like, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's very common for...
Really?
For, they say like 51% of parents that have been like reunited with like kids they've given up for adoption and shit, like they start to get feelings, like sexual feelings for each other.
Wow.
Which is nuts, you know. And
yeah, but if you don't know,
yeah.
Your
well,
brain
no,
just
not
tries to,
no. They do know.
Like they know before they get into a relationship.
Yeah, they do know. Like a kid will look up a parent, and you know, and they'll start to have a relationship as a mother and son or whatever. But then it starts to get sexual. No, they know. Yeah, it's not like he accidentally fucked his daughter or something. It's like, no, they fell in love as father and daughter.
That's just weird.
Yeah, and it's fucking common.
Like, shouldn't something trigger inside the mind that says like, hey, this is my daughter?
Yeah, like, I don't know. I would hope that for me, like, if I mean, I'm getting a little older, I might have a kid out there that would be of age now, you know, like if they,
I don't know if you're
which I'm married, so but like, let's say, what if this kid comes up and like, hey, you're my dad, and then I'm like, okay, cool, and I try and be a dad, but then I'm like, I'm starting to catch feelings for this girl, like, no, fuck, that's my daughter. You know, I would hope that even if I did catch feelings, that I would have the good sense not to act on them. You know?
Well, I'd hope you'd have the good sense not to act.
Right?
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, maybe I'm just closed-minded in this subject.
Yeah.
I just feel like, you know, they're your kids, and you know
I agree. Like, it's fucked up. Like,
I could understand you have no idea this person's related to you, and they're your mother, and now you're like, oh, well, I can't explain all these natural feelings that are coming about. It must be love.
Yeah, I think that's probably. I mean, you could theorize on it all you want. Like, maybe that's just because they never had that relationship and they're both kind of broken a little bit or whatever. Because
I don't know, but if you know it, your consciousness should tell you, hey.
Well, yeah, you'd think, but you know, I've never been adopted and I've never given up a child, so I don't know what that feels like.
Yeah, I can understand that.
So, you know, I'm judging, I guess, but because it is weird and wrong, and I don't agree with it. I guess if these people want to be together, fuck it. But they have to get, you know, castrate. Like, they got to get some sort of vasectomy or something. Like, they should be able to reproduce. Because that's how you get Hills Have Eyes babies. And you don't want Hills Have Eyes babies.
Speaking of Hills Have Eyes, I'd like to give a word and a shout out to our not sponsors. We don't have any sponsors, but if you'd like to become one, you can contact us.
If we just start advertising shit, do you think we could get some free stuff, you think?
Like, maybe if we get enough people actually following us or talking to us.
Well,
which, you know, we still don't have everything set up yet anyway. It's just, let's see how this goes and see what people think, and then we'll start putting up Twitter handles. Right now, it's at Cast Closet.
Cast Closet.
Cast Closet.
Cast Closet.
Because we're the Closet Cast.
That sounds like a porn.
Well, for some reason, inside of my head, whenever I try to put in the Closet Cast, and it was taken on Twitter, whenever that came up, I was like, well, I'll just reverse cast and closet, and that'll be our Twitter handle.
Oh, I forgot to say in the opening, this isn't a gay podcast. We just...
Why do you keep bringing this up every single time we start
I feel like it's necessary. Like
I don't think it's necessary at all.
I think it should be... I think it's necessary.
You know what? Let them think whatever they want. We basically do a podcast in a closet. I mean,
that was the whole concept of it. But now we're not even recording this in the closet. But we just kept the name. Like,
well, we're close to the closet. And it's
open. We are closet adjacent. I'm thinking maybe if we start getting guests, we could make them sit in the closet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be perfect. Make
them
sit in the closet. Yeah. We'll
it's a big closet. I mean, there's air conditioners in it, but and a bunch of other stuff. Like if I clean it out,
it'd be big enough to have a podcast in. I mean, all we need really is a microphone and a...
I got my fucking broke-ass shelf. You know, like, the fucking comic books, man. I had all my comic books up on that shelf.
And it just broke?
It broke.
Well, dude, you know what? You've got quite the collection of comic books.
I got, like, 4 boxes. I mean, I don't have a lot. I got a lot more than some people.
You got some obscure comic books,
though. Yeah, I do like my obscure comics. Flaming Carrot. That's one of them. I love Flaming Carrot because he's just so...
Now, I know you've explained it to me once before, but how did Flaming Carrot become Flaming Carrot?
Flaming Carrot...
Just how he got give me a rundown of him and how he became something. Like, what does he entail? What is his mission?
He was kind of like Deadpool, really, before Deadpool was Deadpool. I mean, if you think about it. Because he went crazy in his brain thinking he was a superhero because he read, like... I can't remember, but it was like an obscene amount of comic books, like 1 million comics in one setting on a dare. and he read all these comic books, and then he started identifying himself as the Flaming Carrot. He doesn't really have any special powers. He's got this mask that looks like a giant carrot, and it's got a flame on the top of it. You know, like where you'd have like the stem. Yeah.
Is it actually on fire?
Yeah, it's a flame, and you know he's used it to like flame people up and shit before that some scientist made. You know, I think he might have some gadgets that he keeps in there, like his atomic pogo stick, and he also wears flippers, just in case he's got to swim.
Really?
At all times.
Doesn't that hinder him from jumping onto rooftops and
I mean, you'd think
getting
so.
into crawl spaces?
But if you ever seen the movie Mystery Men,
yeah,
that's Mystery Men came from Flaming Carrot.
Really? I love Mystery Man. I didn't know that came from a comic book.
Yeah. Yeah, that's independent comic book. It's not like Marvel or DC. You know, it was back in the 80s. I would love to see a Flaming Carrot movie. I don't know if people even remember who the Flaming Carrot is anymore.
I doubt anybody does, but for anybody who's listening who hasn't heard of him, go look him up.
Look it up, man. Bob Burton's the guy's name who writes it.
You know, if nothing else, if there's only just that one person listening and they say, you know what, I'm going to look into Flaming Carrot, and we can they can look into it and enjoy it, then we have done our job.
If I can introduce someone to a weird, obscure character that, I mean, was kind of reminiscent of Deadpool, because it's really off-the-wall, like, comedy and stuff.
Now, see, I have no idea who the Flaming Carrot is, and I didn't, but you have talked about him quite a bit. Now, do you have all of his comics?
No, there's not a whole lot out there. I think it's only like 30-something issues as far as his own stuff goes, but I was going to try and get everything Flaming Carrot, you know, like, I know he's done some crossovers with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, I bet that was funny.
Yeah, there's some good stuff there.
Now, is that the dark Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, this was
so much about.
Yeah, I guess it was a little darker. I mean, it was before it was really a cartoon.
I know, like, I remember reading one comic book of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they, you know, it was post-cartoon era, so it was whenever they changed their entire image. I kind of wish that I could read some of that stuff from way back then.
Yeah, I had a few of them when I was really young, but I couldn't really appreciate them, because at that time, you know, the cartoon came out in like '88 or something, and you know, that they kind of re-released some of that shit, you know, and I remember reading a few, but couldn't really appreciate it because I'm like, this isn't like my cartoon, boring, and then, you know, went back to the cartoon.
Oh yeah, I can understand that. I like the cartoon back then.
Yeah, that's what I grew up.
It's still a classic.
Totally. I mean, now as an adult, I would love to read the more adult Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics.
I think for the last 2 Christmases, I've gotten my son a different season of it, and he actually prefers it to the new one.
Oh, the original? Yeah, it's definitely superior in my opinion.
The one I always remember is the Easter special. You know, with the alternate universe in it. You had to get on the train. It was all part of the same special, but it wasn't part of the Easter special. I don't know.
I don't remember, but we also may be talking about 2 different things, because there is a bit of an age difference, which isn't that big of a deal now as adults, but as kids, like, I think I was like a few years ahead. So
this was like 1989. This came out.
89. I don't remember. I don't remember anything specific. I mean, I haven't watched any of that stuff in like since it came out. Really, like I liked it as a kid, but I didn't. And between me and my cousin, because my God, I'd love to get him on a podcast, because he's got a better memory than I do, for one.
He should be on a podcast.
But you know, he lived with my grandma, and you know, we'd go out to Walmart or whatever, and you know, Granny, she's got to spoil us. I mean, we'd get like 2 Ninja Turtle action figures a piece. Basically, I would get all the Donatello and Michelangelos, and he would get all the Raphael and Leonardo's. So between the 2 of us, we had like every Ninja Turtle ever made.
Oh, that's awesome.
Up until like the early 90s or whenever we kind of grew out of it.
What kind of toys were you buying in the early 90s?
Early 90s. I mean, there was
what was replacing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the early 90s, Danny?
For me, probably X-Men, because the X-Men cartoon came out in '92.
See, my big toy craze was X-Men, was the comic book guy action figures and the wrestlers.
See, I didn't have a lot of wrestling action figures. I had like
over 100 of them at one time.
I had the Dollar General knockoff wrestlers that weren't anybody that that doesn't exist. You know,
I got so into my wrestling figures, I actually still have the notebook that has my title histories in it. Okay, I had an entire federation. I had a booking. I wish I could find my other notebooks that were filled, because they had more title history and a history of every card. So, like, I would write out the card, the stipulations. and then I'd take notes for storyline, and then the next day play again. It was the
Nice.
I was the weirdest little kid in the world. I just wanted to book wrestling.
Yeah. Now, I mean, if I were to talk about my favorite toy line, it would probably have to be DC's Superpowers toy line.
There's our little buddy we had.
There's my Batman figure, who is modeled after the Superpowers version. Now, I think 80 is probably the best time for action figures, basing that just on this toy line alone. Well, not only that, I guess that's not fair. That was a great toy line, though. But, you had Transformers come out in the 80s. G.I. Joe was big. Like, I think toys in general.
What was your favorite iteration of the toys of Transformers?
Again, I had a few Transformers. That was really more my cousin's deal. Because I didn't have any brothers. I had cousins. We were like brothers, so we played with all that stuff. I was really more into G.I. Joe.
See, because whenever those came out, it was like, I could either buy Transformers or I could buy wrestlers. And that was basically literally what my mom would tell me. So every payday I'd get a new wrestler. And then on Christmas time, she always lucked out. Like Dollar General here in our town was selling all those ECW and WCW figures for like $3 a pop. Remember that?
No.
Oh, you're probably too old at the time.
Yeah.
But
again, the age difference doesn't mean that much now because we're adults now. But when you're a kid, 5 years, that's a bit of a gap.
Well, it was like Christmas time. She had me write out a list of 20 wrestlers, and she bought 20 of the wrestlers off that list from Dollar General. Yeah. And then I got paid $100 for income tax time. And whenever I got that, we went to Toys R Us, and I got all the nowadays figures.
Yeah.
So I spent in Toys R Us. Back then a wrestling figure was $7.50. It was $7.50. You didn't see them at $20 like they are now.
Yeah, I mean things in general. I mean that's just
inflation is how it works. I guess.
That's how it works.
I mean, granted, they got some great details, so I'm sure those things cost some money.
Yeah, totally. I don't know. Now I feel like I hear too much noise after turning off the air conditioner. Case, just a little behind the scenes, right?
Hey, it's all right. One day we'll have a video going anyway.
Whatever. I'm gonna turn it on low. So, but anyways, yeah, it's just inflation, and I'm talking loud. I gotta have a little bit of noise.
Well, yeah, it's just inflation. Now, these headphones are getting uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd prefer the buds over those any day.
No, really?
Hey, you can see on there where I pulled the microphone or the cable out of the microphone, but I feel like wrestling toys nowadays just aren't. I don't know. They don't have as much passion behind them. You had a whole bunch of different types of wrestling toys, and like Hulk Hogan in his little car and say things like, "I'm burning rubber, brother."
I mean, I guess I'm just old, and I just think toys now suck in general. I don't
know. There's some pretty cool toys out there.
No, 80s. 80s, that was the decade for toys.
I bought my son a little Ninja Turtle sewer lair.
Yeah, I had a sewer lair.
That thing stood up to almost my chest. It was so big. It was like 4.5 feet. I'm not that tall, by the way, but it was a good 4.5 feet. It was about as tall as he was. I put that thing together. He played with it for 2 days, and that was it. Hasn't busted it out since.
See, I had a Ninja Turtle sewer, man. I fucking played that shit all the time.
Me too. Do you remember the sewer that came out that would connect together?
I had, talking about the one that connected to the Technodrome?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I had.
I had the Technodrome.
My cousin had it, so, like, combined.
Yeah. My brother had a...
See, we just split everything down the middle when it came to Turtles, like... Because,
You guys were playing together anyway.
Yeah, we were always together. I mean, like I said, we were like brothers growing up. I mean, lived right down the road from me out in the country. So, and he lived with grandma, or granny. I prefer granny. Let's keep it informal.
Yeah. But oh man, I miss those toys.
I miss being a kid.
Now, who's directing the new version of It?
Oh shit. Some guy, he did that movie Mama. You remember that ghost?
I didn't see it. I heard of it. I just never watched it.
Yeah, it was okay.
I had a feeling it wasn't going to be that good, so I just didn't bother.
Yeah, the guy directing the new It, Andreas Muschietti. Let's see what he's done. Yeah, he did Mama. And he did the, I guess the
Spanish version of it.
Spanish version, yeah.
Mandre.
Yeah, well, just Mama with an apostrophe. But yeah, he hasn't really done a lot. So, everything I've heard on it though, I mean, it's gonna be broken up into 2 parts. Like I think part 1's gonna be him as kids, toward part 2 would be the adults. You know,
I kind of would like them to keep the same formula from the first movie though.
I wouldn't. Yeah, no. I mean, I like the first miniseries, the one from the, I guess it was early '90s.
I don't know if, 94, 95?
I think sooner than that. I'm thinking like 92.
I don't think it's that old.
Oh, I think it is, sir.
I mean,
because I was little.
John Ritter doesn't look that old in it.
Yeah, but John Ritter...
He was in his 40s whenever he passed, wasn't he? You know, he was 50?
Yeah, but that was like 2003, so...
I guess... Gosh, that made me feel old.
Yeah. 1990, so even sooner. But yeah, you gotta remember that, you know, he was on Three's Company, man. That show was from the 70s.
That's true.
John Ritter.
Yeah. Well, man, that was a good scary movie for a kid.
It was for me. It scared me for like a month straight. Like I would sleep with this because we're in my childhood home right now.
Yeah.
With this very bathroom light on in my childhood room is where we're at.
Ha.
And I used to leave this bathroom light on, which did not help because, you know, I would think of the sink scene, you know, or like the shower scene whenever he comes out the drain. So really having the light on just made me even more scared, I think.
Because you'd stare at it and just be like, second now I want to see him.
I would just stare. And the old sink that was in here used to drip, so like made it even creepier.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I would just end up staring at the light in the bathroom until I either passed out from exhaustion or I just had to get up for school. Which, God, yeah.
So what you're telling me is that movie scared you that much?
It did, yeah. It's definitely had an effect on me. I mean, I still don't like clowns. Fuck clowns. I mean, really, do we need them? No one likes clowns.
I don't know, man.
Does
Freak Show is pretty good.
Yeah.
I like the clown in that one. He was misunderstood. That was all.
Yeah, but honestly, do you have a use for a clown? Like, come on. Do you just want to go to the circus or go to the rodeo and like check out the clowns?
Now that all of our clown listeners have stopped,
I don't
we
care.
can get down to some real business out there.
Fuck those clown listeners. I don't want them. I don't want them.
See, I think it's odd that you're afraid of clowns. It was scary, but it never, like, that was the only clown I ever feared was Pennywise.
I was terrified, man. That movie.
And he turns out to be the embodiment of fear himself.
Yeah, I was like 7, and here's the thing: my mom had no problem with me watching horror movies. Like that's where my love of horror comes from. I have to thank my mom for that. She got me into it. But what I always remember is, you know, you can watch all this blood and gore, but anytime top comes off, lady gets undressed, like, oh, better cover your eyes.
Yeah.
You know,
that knife just hit their sternum. Oh, that's okay. You can see death. Boobs, no.
All the blood and gore, but yeah, God forbid, you know,
and
a pair of tits show up.
And you know, whenever a sex scene was starting to steam up, because the TV would get muted.
So I questioned her on that. She just avoids the topic. I'm gonna get her on here one of these days and put her under pressure. Yeah,
let's do it.
Yeah,
we'll make her sit in the middle so that she can't.
No,
escape.
yeah, I think I could do a good podcast with my mom just over horror movies.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that would be one.
That'd be a good Halloween podcast.
That would be. Oh shit, that's coming up.
Yeah,
she actually just called me and was my aunt's doing like a haunted hayride sort of thing, asking if I wanted to like dress up as a zombie or something. So, I mean, of course, I love dressing up as a zombie any chance I get.
Heck yeah.
So, that is my lifelong goal, by the way, is to be like in a movie, either be a zombie or the victim of a zombie. You know, like if I could get on Walking Dead.
Oh yeah, so
that would be fantastic.
As you well know, I'm very far behind The Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's insane. Why? Everyone else is watching it. The whole world is watching it.
Well, why haven't you caught up with Game of Thrones?
I am caught up with Game of Thrones.
Well, you took long enough. It did take you a long time.
I did.
I caught up at all.
No, I caught up. I stopped watching it. Not this season that just ended, but the one before.
You were watching from season 1, though.
Well, no, yeah, it took me a while before I started watching it.
Yeah, how long was it before you started watching it?
Gosh, I don't know. They were probably 3 seasons in.
And then you took a break. How long?
What season are they on?
They're season 7 now.
Season 7?
No, yeah, no, 6.
6. Is that what just ended with 6 or
no,
was 5?
6 is going.
Okay.
6
yeah,
is
it's probably about season 3.
The last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones are gonna be short ones too.
See, and then we watched season 4, and then for some reason we got behind. We left on vacation or something, and we just never came back and watched it.
That's what happened with us. We caught all the way up, got past all the Terminus stuff, and then this last season came on, and it wasn't on Netflix, so I haven't watched it. And I can wait for Walking Dead though. I have to avoid Facebook, but I can wait.
Well, I'm never on Facebook anyways. I feel like that's a dying media now, right?
I think it's just become like
there's
a
so
bitch
much
fest.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone's all about the Twitters and the what's it called?
Twitters and Instagrams and Snapchats.
Yeah, it's popular than the Facebook. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't keep up with any of it.
Well, you know, everybody used to, anytime you were listening to a podcast in the past, you'd always hear, and like our Facebook page, and now all you hear is Twitter handles, which I think is better for the fans anyway, because they can actually, communicate directly to the creators.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you can hire a PR team to take care of your Twitter, but it's a lot easier for a PR team to keep up with a Facebook than a Twitter account.
But yeah, Walking Dead though, right? So I caught up on Game of Thrones. I've done my part, sir.
So now I need to catch up on The Walking Dead, so you can't hold that over my head.
Well, yeah, and then plus, at this time, the show's coming back in like a month,
Well, I know it's gotten
that's
good,
good podcast material,
it's gotten really good.
It's only getting better, man. Fucking Negan,
So,
dude. Negan.
Just a heads up there. Anything we start discussing may or may not have spoilers, and I don't want to be one of those assholes that doesn't have spoilers everywhere.
Yeah.
You start listening to them, you're like, oh man, they're telling all these details.
Yeah, let's just spoilers all around. Whatever.
Now, let's set up a
may
line
talk
here.
to.
For TV shows, how far back in seasons do you have to go before you can start talking about spoilers without labeling it a spoiler?
I think whatever season's current, right?
Nah,
well, I don't know.
I'm going to say 2 seasons. If someone's behind 2 seasons, so let's say it's season 6 now. Don't talk about season 6, season 5. Go into season 4 just fine, because 2 years. You haven't caught up in 2 years.
I think just as a disclaimer, if we start talking about any show, just expect spoilers, because I'm sure we're going.
What about movies? Where do you consider the spoiler line for movies?
Well, I think any movie in general could be a spoiler,
But how long does a movie have to be out for it to not be a spoiler?
I don't think there's an expiration date.
So you're telling me that if you'd never seen The Bourne Identity, I couldn't spoil it for you?
I've never seen The Bourne Identity.
So let me tell you about The Bourne
Identity.
Identity.
Well, don't spoil it for me, because
you should watch it.
That
movie's like 10 years old.
It's older than that, isn't it?
I don't know. It might be.
Pretty sure that's like early 2000s,
Look,
right?
The Bourne Identity you can spoil all you want. If you haven't seen it by now, go fuck yourself.
Don't spoil. Hey, fuck you.
No. 10 years old. That's spoil territory. Now, 3 years, 4 years.
I have no excuse for not watching it.
I have no excuse for not watching Suicide Squad while that was out. Oh wait, because I was afraid to be disappointed with it.
I love that movie. I don't know what all this disappointment. I don't know where all the disappointment's coming from.
You were literally the only person I've heard say that they enjoyed Suicide Squad.
It's because these people don't have a brain. Okay, this movie is fantastic.
Okay, so what I get the most complaints about is not following source material or not presenting source material properly.
It's a fucking movie, okay? Source material has changed,
Well, when Marvel, they distinguished themselves earlier. Hey, this is our universe. The comic books are their universe.
Well, now they've kind of molded that a little bit. They've changed the comic book universe to more fit with the movies.
To bridge the gap, because fans were complaining.
Well, for one, and I understand that, because.
So, do you think we'll see a female Wolverine then?
I think.
And a female
you still haven't seen the new X-Men, have you? I guess.
I'm assuming you're referencing to X-23.
Yeah. I was just say it's
Facebook.
It's they kind of hinted. I took it as a hint, or at least I put the things together in my head. I don't know. I kind of want. It's kind of a spoiler, but not. It doesn't really spoil the plot to X-Men Apocalypse, and you kind of already know the plot to the Wolverine movie coming out.
Well, I want to see. I don't have a way to see it right now. I'm at that range where I'm either, if I'm home, I'm typically watching Netflix. I don't download anything illegally anymore.
And that's the thing about that's another one. X-Men, they got a lot of hate too. I liked good. I liked X-Men Apocalypse.
Oh, Apocalypse?
Yeah, the new one. Yeah, the new one.
You're talking First Class.
No.
So that one got some heat too, but man, I like that movie quite a bit.
No, I've liked.
I especially like Hugh Jackman's cameo in it. It's my favorite part of the entire movie.
I guess I've found things to like about X-Men, about all of them in some capacity. The Wolverine movies are terrible that are currently out. I don't know about this third one.
Origins was horrible.
But there's things I liked about Origins. There's things that I liked about the second one.
I think if they would have left the whole samurai thing out of it, it would have been a lot better of a movie.
Or if they would have done the Silver Samurai thing right.
Oh yeah, that would have been great.
Fair enough.
Again, we're keeping this uncut. This first episode is going to go out uncut. Complain about it if you want to.
Yeah, my job's easy because I'm the editor.
Yeah, it makes his job way easier. You're lucky you don't have me editing because you'd probably hear a whole bunch of cuts and stops and 5-second pauses, and because I'm horrible at editing things. Now,
I'm going to school for this shit.
But my time's so taken up right now with trying to get caught up in video games because I keep getting caught up in one game for months on end, or watching, wrestling right now. I've been watching a lot of wrestling.
Yes. We haven't talked about wrestling a lot. We are planning on doing a separate podcast on that. I think I personally have been trying to avoid talking about wrestling because I'm like, this is going to become a wrestling podcast if we talk about wrestling.
Oh, it will become one, and we're not trying to.
And it may happen anyways. It may happen anyways on this website.
You're gonna if you hear 5 minutes of wrestling, it's okay. We're already at the 41-minute mark.
Yeah, if you've hung in this long, congratulations.
And welcome to the community. We assume that you'll be tuning in next week, or hoping.
I might. I don't want to promise any gifts or anything. Maybe I could get my wife to. My wife. Yeah, that's right. Borat impression. There you go. Terrible Borat impression.
If you come to this podcast next week and yellow spandex only covers your cock, I'm going to be disappointed.
If I don't, or if I do?
If you do, just going to look at you and say, I'm disappointed in you, Danny.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough.
Now, okay. So, we've already hit a lot of subjects.
Dead, right?
We keep on trying to talk about The Walking Dead.
I keep feeling like we're getting off track.
Well, I don't know much about what's going on right now.
What was the last thing you remember? Anything?
No.
No, nothing's coming to mind?
Them being surrounded at that, quarry area?
Oh.
Right, no. It was whenever the zombie attacked in the town.
Oh, you're not that far behind, then.
I'm only, a season behind.
Like half a season, maybe.
Was it a season break they took after... I wanted to call it Woodbury. It wasn't actually called Woodbury.
No, yeah, it's not Woodbury. It's what I can't remember the name of the town. They're still in that town.
Andrea or
no, who gives a fuck?
It's paradise until some dickhead of a preacher decides to leave a damn door open. I'm so sad and miserable.
Was that what it was? I don't even.
Yeah,
did the preacher leave the door open?
Yeah, he left the gate open. He was going to turn around.
No, that's not what it was.
It was the preacher man. He just shut the gate behind him like this.
Yeah, but remember the guys? They breached the wall with the truck, and then the church fell over.
No, you're talking about Woodbury.
No, I'm talking about
just the zombies.
I'm not talking about Woodbury. You're talking about just the zombies that breached the wall.
Whenever Rick's all like, "See, this is the real world. This is the real world. This is what's happening."
Is that whenever
they were having the little committee meeting whether or not
Morgan comes back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is his name Morgan? Is the preacher man's name Morgan?
No, the black guy from the first season. The guy.
Yeah, he's already back.
Okay, he's been back. Okay, so he's been back. So you're at the point where.
I'm at the point where they're having the talk about kicking Rick Grimes out of the community.
Okay. And because the preacher
zombie
guy
comes in out of nowhere. Yeah, he just casually lets the door slide behind him and it bounces off.
See, I don't remember that.
The gate?
I don't remember that. I just don't remember it playing a thing.
He didn't lock it behind him, and then Rick comes out of his house and he sees the gate partially open, so he runs up and he locks it, and then he sees the blood trail.
I don't recall.
And he starts following the zombie blood trail, and then he drags the dead corpse into the middle of the committee meeting. It's like, "This is why I deserve to be here. Look at my penis."
I don't think Rick sounds like that at all.
He doesn't. He doesn't sound anything. I'm not trying to make him an impression. I'm trying to make him. I don't know. I just don't like Rick.
You don't.
I've never really cared for Rick as a character.
I liked Rick. I'm behind him.
He's like the heel of a good guy to me. He wants to be the anti-hero so bad, but he can't let go of that humanity that he still has. I think I'd like him better as just a straight up anti-hero.
And for me, I've caught up with the comic books, almost caught up with them anyways. Which so is the show, for that matter. By the way, the show's almost caught up with them. But I get them confused sometimes because they're kind of different,
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, no way, Rick's awesome. I think.
Whenever I read the entire series of Game of Thrones in a year. I was doing the same thing with Game of Thrones. Yeah. Like, because the entire time you're reading, you're picturing these scenes playing out in the characters you already know.
Well, a lot of it's the same. A lot of the comic book is the same. It's just different characters die in different ways. Okay, yeah. Like
a lot of the book is the same. It's just some characters don't exist in the show.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it's the same deal. You know, because Daryl and Merle, they're not in the comic books at all.
I thought Merle was, but Daryl wasn't.
No, neither of them are. I haven't seen them. Huh. If Merle was in it, then he wasn't a big character.
Yeah, see, that's why Daryl needs to be the only person to survive in the end. Like, whenever they finally end that series, it should be the entire team's dead, and it's just Daryl driving off on his motorcycle.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I got a feeling he may die soon because he's got a show. Well, he's got a show coming out, doesn't he? The guy who plays Daryl, Norman Reedus.
There's a lot of off time for Norman Reedus. I mean, granted, he is. See, but he's got that show coming out. Plus, he's doing. It seems like he's doing a lot of video game type stuff. Well, you know, he's putting his voice in stuff. He's putting his character model and stuff. He's acting out scenes for Kojima right now.
Yeah.
For the game that he's creating.
So yeah, but I kind of feel like he may die. And if you were caught up with Walking Dead, you would know that there's a major death going to happen. Nobody knows yet.
Well, I do know that because fuck you, Facebook decided to post it.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, you know. If you're not current with...
Every meme for the last... Since that show stopped has been Nigel with a damn club over his thing. Negan with a damn club over his shoulder.
Lucille.
Going, ha! What am I gonna do next, guys?
I mean, yeah, he's pretty much played the comedian again from Watchmen, I think. Because that character's very similar. I think he's the perfect guy to play it.
Oh, I'm sure he is the perfect guy to play that character. But, you know, Governor will always be my favorite character.
Well... That's what you think for now. That's what I thought whenever I watched the show. I'm like, oh, well, how are they going to top the governor as a villain? But then I started reading the comic books, and I started reading Negan. I'm like, holy shit, this is going to be way better than the governor.
Well, I'm sure he's terrific as Nathan. Hey, there's a dog. Hey, widget.
Get out of here. Just fill the airtime.
Dogs breaking into rooms. Got you down. Why don't you just turn around and turn on a podcast? Not ours, because ours is probably bad for your health, your ears, and your brain.
Fuck it. I'm leaving the dog in.
Oh, well, come here, Widget.
He's the quiet one, so...
Come on, Widget.
So, you know, he shouldn't cause too much of a ruckus.
We have Widget in the room with us now. He's hearing his name called. He will get in your face and lick away.
But yeah, he's
a good dog.
He's pretty chill for the most part.
I think so.
You know, he's really chill. But... No, yeah, fucking Negan, dude. You're just... I would recommend catching up or reading the comic books. I recommend to everybody to read the comic books. Because they are fantastic. And plus, reading is good for you. Is that right?
Is that what they say nowadays?
I don't know. I'm just trying to do like a little PSA here.
I don't know if reading's good for you. But... if Audible.com wanted to sponsor us, we would plug them right now.
But if you don't have time to read, you could listen to some of the great books on Audible.com. We're just anticipating money.
Well,
I mean, Audible sponsors everybody, right?
I figure we'll go ahead and just admit that we'll sell out eventually.
Oh, of course. I mean,
everybody does.
I'll take any sponsor.
As for now, I think it's just cool to sit back and do what we're doing.
We're free.
Okay, Danny, explain to me what the best moments in the Deadpool movie were.
The best moments in the Deadpool movie? Let's see. The whole fucking thing was pretty awesome. I like the little baby hand where he's gonna jerk off. Okay, he's out of the room now. I don't know what to talk about. I don't know, fuck it. We're just gonna let it go. Anyways, how you guys doing? I'm by myself and feeling dead airtime, and that's what the reality of going on. But he doesn't know that. He thinks I'm talking about the Deadpool. You see, he wanted me to kill some time, which is what I'm doing, but not in the way that he wants, because, you know, fuck it. I hope he listens to this later, and then, you know, we'll have a little laugh, and I can hear him come back. And then Deadpool was, you know, fantastic, and that's my story of the Deadpool.
Well, my favorite character had to have been, what was her name? Teenage Supersonic Nuclear Warhead.
Teenage Negasonic Warhead, I think, right?
Coolest name ever.
I can't remember exactly, but that's a fantastic fucking movie. I think that was probably my favorite movie this year, maybe. I don't know, Captain America Civil War.
I can't put Captain America Civil War as the best movie of the year.
Pretty close.
It was good.
Pretty close.
Good. It was better than I expected it to be.
It's just been a damn good year, I think, in general.
Next year's going to be good, too.
It's always
Avatar 2, Deadpool 2.
I mean, why'd you have to start with Avatar?
Annabelle 2. Annabelle. The first one wasn't great, but it was okay.
I never seen it.
I don't know if I'll watch the second one.
I don't know. I just usually just go for the big blockbusters anymore. I used to be hip on indie shit, but I just don't really care. If something comes on my radar, that's cool, but I don't really go looking like I used to.
Nah, I'm not. I don't go looking too much.
Any comic book movie that comes out, that's what I go see. Like, other than that, I'm like, oh, I heard this was good. Like Sausage Party, that was not a comic book movie, but we were out and we wanted to see a movie and nothing else looked good, so.
Okay, now here pretty soon you're going to be joining me in the future with Xbox One.
Eventually, maybe. I don't know when.
Are you going to buy the BioShock collection? It's all three of them remastered on Xbox One.
Is it just the same game?
It's the same game with all the DLC packs included.
See, I don't know. I never played BioShock 2, but
it was okay. As the story was good, but it was really clunky feeling.
I kind of went in reverse. See, I played BioShock 3 first because it was one of those free download games for 360.
Yeah.
And really liked it, and a lot of fans didn't. I found out, but I liked it. I thought it was a great game.
I think it was too much of an adjustment. You spend 2 games underwater in Rapture, and now you're going back into the sky to a place you've never been to. I liked it. I didn't finish it, but I liked it.
I finished it, and then we bought the first BioShock, but never the second one.
Have you played through the first one?
Yeah, I beat it twice.
Okay, so in the first one, spoilers for BioShock?
I mean, the game's like 17 years old, right? Well,
yeah, but it just re-released for a new generation.
I guess.
So, yeah, spoilers for anybody who gets sensitive about that stuff. Fuck you, Facebook.
Again, it's just spoilers all around, really. Anything we talk about.
How about for those guys who haven't played it, though? Because, I mean, I don't want to spoil too much without warning them, so I think, 30 seconds of warning is enough. But was the ending boss battle not the worst payoff for that game?
Which one? The first one? Or?
First one.
Yeah.
Whenever you fight Atlas.
Yeah, it was pretty lame.
I really felt like it was
really like the whole game seemed challenging, but then the end boss wasn't very
I don't know if it was their way of saying, here, just take it, it's easy.
Yeah.
We've been torturing you for long enough, but I don't know, the game wasn't like Dark Souls. It was a happy medium for me.
I've never played Dark Souls.
Dark Souls I hate Dark Souls just because.
Isn't that the one that's really hard? You die
it's incredibly
over and over.
It has an opening screen that tells you, be warned, you're going to die a lot. That's essentially what it says. Now, I mean, I just don't like the gameplay mechanics more than anything. I know, get good. That's the saying that all the Dark Souls players will tell us. And one day I would, but I don't have that much time to dedicate to that game. And that game's such a big game, you have to dedicate a lot of time to that game to get good. But BioShock had this happy medium, where if you put it on the impossible.
I don't know what I'm staring at.
If you put on it was called 1985 or whatever. That difficulty mode, it was incredibly difficult, but hard wasn't extremely hard. It was just a little hard.
Yeah,
you're about to get the giggles. You got the giggles.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Totally good.
What were you staring at?
I don't even know, man. I was just staring off into nothingness listening to you.
Ew. That's okay. Well,
somewhere
54 minutes in, you want to go ahead and wrap it up?
No, man, I want to keep going forever.
We can't keep going forever. Let's say we wrap it up and look at what we got.
I don't know. Is this a good finish? Did we really talk about anything? Should we talk about more?
I think it's good. An hour.
An hour? I don't know.
We've talked for almost an hour. We agreed last week that we'd make sure to cut them off about the hour point.
I don't know, but did we talk about Walking Dead?
But with as much energy as
we wrapped up on everything? Did we catch up?
Fuck it if we're not.
I don't know. I felt like there was a few points I was gonna make, but I can't remember them. So.
Well, anyway, from the Closet Cast to you, thanks for listening. This has been...
That was a good sign-off, dude. Did you just come up with that?
Yes.
Wow.
From the Closet Cast to you, this has been...
Danny.
And
Foster.
Paden. Gave out your name! We will see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye-bye.